Let's get ready for the Ohio real estate exam with 100 questions covering key state laws, principles, and practices you'll need to know. And keep an eye on the bottom corner. There's something there that could make a big difference in your prep. We'll tell you how to use it in just a minute. Now, let's get started.
Let's start with a review of licensing requirements and procedures. Ohio licensing requirements and procedures. What is the minimum age requirement to apply for a real estate salesperson license in Ohio? Is it A, 18 years old, B, 21 years old, C, 16 years old, or D, 25 years old? The answer is A, 18 years old. In Ohio, applicants must be at least 18 years old to apply for a real estate salesperson license. This requirement ensures that applicants are legally adults and can enter into contracts. How many hours of pre-licensing education are required for a real estate salesperson license in Ohio? Is it A, 60 hours, B, 90 hours, C, 120 hours, or D, 180 hours? The answer is C, 120 hours. Ohio requires 120 hours of pre-licensing education, covering topics such as real estate principles, practices, law, and finance, to ensure comprehensive knowledge before licensing.
Have you noticed the code in the bottom corner? Next time you're stumped, take that code to Birdsy.ai for immediate help and a free study session with Birdsy, your personal AI study partner. Plus, you'll get access to hundreds of additional questions, helping you move closer to passing your exam with confidence. The next time you're feeling unsure or stuck, give it a try.
Which of the following is a requirement for obtaining a real estate broker license in Ohio? Is it A, no prior experience required, B, 2 years of active experience as a salesperson, C, completion of a 40-hour business course, or D, a degree in real estate? The answer is B, 2 years of active experience as a salesperson. To obtain a broker license in Ohio, applicants must have at least 2 years of active experience as a licensed real estate salesperson and complete additional education requirements. What is one of the prerequisites for an applicant to be eligible for the Ohio real estate broker exam? Is it A, completion of 60 hours of continuing education, B, submission of a character reference, C, 2 years of experience as a licensed salesperson, or D, passing a background check? The answer is C, 2 years of experience as a licensed salesperson. To be eligible for the Ohio real estate broker exam, an applicant must have completed a minimum of 2 years of experience as a licensed real estate salesperson. This ensures they have practical experience in the field. Continuing education requirements. What is the minimum number of continuing education hours required for license renewal in Ohio? Is it A, 15 hours, B, 20 hours, C, 30 hours, or D, 40 hours? The answer is C, 30 hours. Ohio requires real estate licensees to complete 30 hours of continuing education every 3 years. This ensures that professionals stay updated with industry standards and regulations. Which of the following topics is required as part of the continuing education curriculum for Ohio real estate licensees? Is it A, advanced negotiation techniques, B, civil rights and fair housing, C, real estate marketing strategies, or D, environmental regulations? The answer is B, civil rights and fair housing. Ohio requires licensees to complete specific courses, including 3 hours on civil rights and fair housing, to ensure compliance with state and federal regulations. How often must Ohio real estate licensees complete their continuing education requirements? Is it A, every 3 years, B, annually, C, every 2 years, or D, every 5 years? The answer is A, every 3 years. Ohio requires real estate licensees to complete their continuing education every 3 years. This cycle ensures that professionals remain informed about changes in the industry. What is the penalty for failing to complete continuing education requirements in Ohio? Is it A, a fine of $500, B, mandatory additional coursework, C, revocation of license, or D, suspension of license? The answer is D, suspension of license. If an Ohio licensee fails to complete continuing education, their license may be suspended until they fulfill the requirements, ensuring compliance with educational standards. Let's continue with Ohio real estate laws and regulations. Ohio-specific fair housing laws. Which of the following is a protected class under Ohio's fair housing laws that is not explicitly covered by the Federal Fair Housing Act? Is it A, race, B, ancestry, C, religion, or D, sex? The answer is B, ancestry. Ohio's fair housing laws include ancestry as a protected class, which is not specifically covered under the Federal Fair Housing Act. This reflects Ohio's commitment to addressing state-specific discrimination issues. In Ohio, which government body is primarily responsible for enforcing the state's fair housing laws? Is it A, Ohio Civil Rights Commission, B, Ohio Department of Commerce, C, Ohio State Bar Association, or D, Ohio Real Estate Commission? The answer is A, Ohio Civil Rights Commission. The Ohio Civil Rights Commission is responsible for enforcing Ohio's fair housing laws, handling complaints, and ensuring compliance with state regulations. What is the maximum penalty for a first-time violation of Ohio's fair housing laws? Is it A, $1,000, B, $5,000, C, $10,000, or D, $25,000? The answer is C, $10,000. For a first-time violation of Ohio's fair housing laws, the maximum penalty can be up to $10,000, reflecting the state's commitment to deterring discrimination. Under Ohio's fair housing laws, which of the following actions is considered discriminatory? Is it A, offering a discount to seniors, B, refusing to rent to a family with children, C, requiring a security deposit, or D, marketing to a specific demographic? The answer is B, refusing to rent to a family with children. Refusing to rent to a family with children is discriminatory under Ohio's fair housing laws, which protect against familial status discrimination. Which of the following scenarios would likely be considered a violation of Ohio's fair housing laws? Is it A, offering housing incentives to veterans, B, implementing a no-pet policy, C, charging higher rent for furnished apartments, or D, refusing to sell a home based on national origin? The answer is D, refusing to sell a home based on national origin. Refusing to sell a home based on the buyer's national origin violates Ohio's fair housing laws, which prohibit discrimination based on national origin. Which of the following actions is prohibited under Ohio's fair housing laws when advertising a rental property? Is it A, offering a discount for early lease signing, B, stating no children in the advertisement, C, including the property's square footage, or D, mentioning proximity to public transportation? The answer is B, stating no children in the advertisement. Ohio's fair housing laws prohibit discriminatory advertising that restricts or limits housing opportunities based on protected classes. This includes using language that implies a preference or exclusion based on race or religion. Under Ohio's fair housing laws, which group is specifically protected from discrimination in housing transactions? Is it A, pet owners, B, smokers, C, college students, or D, military status? The answer is D, military status. Ohio's fair housing laws extend protection to military status, ensuring that individuals in the military are not discriminated against in housing transactions.
If you're finding this helpful, please take a minute to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more practice exams, useful tips, and complimentary study sessions with Birdsy.
Ohio-specific contract requirements. What is the minimum amount of earnest money required in an Ohio real estate contract? Is it A, $500, B, $1,000, C, no specific minimum, or D, $2,500? The answer is C, no specific minimum. Ohio law does not specify a minimum amount for earnest money in real estate contracts. It is typically negotiated between the buyer and seller, often based on market conditions or mutual agreement. Which party is responsible for ensuring that a real estate contract in Ohio is legally binding? Is it A, the buyer, B, both parties, C, the seller, or D, the real estate agent? The answer is B, both parties. In Ohio, both parties involved in the contract, typically the buyer and seller, along with their respective agents, ensure the contract is legally binding. Legal professionals may also be consulted. What is a required disclosure in Ohio real estate contracts? Is it A, lead-based paint hazards, B, previous sale prices, C, neighborhood crime rates, or D, proximity to schools? The answer is A, lead-based paint hazards. In Ohio, sellers must disclose any known lead-based paint hazards for homes built before 1978 as part of federal and state regulations aimed at protecting buyers and renters from health risks. How long does a buyer have to inspect a property after signing a contract in Ohio? Is it A, 3 days, B, 5 days, C, 10 days, or D, negotiated period? The answer is D, negotiated period. The inspection period in Ohio is typically negotiated between the buyer and seller. Commonly, it ranges from 7 to 14 days, but it is not fixed by state law and can vary. In Ohio, what must be included in a real estate contract to ensure it is enforceable? Is it A, legal description of the property, B, a witness signature, C, the buyer's occupation, or D, a notary seal? The answer is A, legal description of the property. An Ohio real estate contract must include the legal description of the property, the price, terms of payment, and signatures of both parties to be enforceable, ensuring all key elements are covered. What must be included in an Ohio real estate contract to ensure the property description is legally sufficient? Is it A, street address only, B, tax identification number, C, legal description, or D, owner's name? The answer is C, legal description. Ohio law requires a legal description of the property, such as a lot and block number or a meets and bounds description, to ensure the contract is enforceable. Overview of Ohio real estate statutes. What is the primary purpose of the Ohio Real Estate Commission? Is it A, to enforce real estate laws and regulations, B, to set property tax rates, C, to manage real estate listings, or D, to approve building permits? The answer is A, to enforce real estate laws and regulations. The Ohio Real Estate Commission is responsible for enforcing real estate laws and regulations, ensuring compliance among licensees, and protecting public interests in real estate transactions. Which of the following is required for a real estate license applicant in Ohio? Is it A, a college degree in real estate, B, completion of 120 hours of pre-licensing education, C, membership in the Ohio Association of Realtors, or D, a minimum of 5 years of real estate experience? The answer is B, completion of 120 hours of pre-licensing education. Applicants must complete 120 hours of pre-licensing education, pass the state exam, and submit a background check to qualify for a real estate license in Ohio. Which entity is responsible for issuing real estate licenses in Ohio? Is it A, Ohio Real Estate Commission, B, Ohio Department of Commerce, C, Ohio Division of Real Estate and Professional Licensing, or D, Ohio State Bar Association? The answer is C, Ohio Division of Real Estate and Professional Licensing. The Ohio Division of Real Estate and Professional Licensing handles the issuance and renewal of real estate licenses, ensuring that applicants meet all necessary requirements. What action can the Ohio Real Estate Commission take if a licensee violates real estate laws? Is it A, impose a prison sentence, B, increase property taxes, C, modify real estate contracts, or D, revoke the license? The answer is D, revoke the license. The Commission can impose disciplinary actions such as fines, suspension, or revocation of licenses to enforce compliance with Ohio real estate laws and protect the public. Let's test your understanding of Ohio property ownership and land use. Types of property ownership: fee simple, leasehold, joint tenancy. In Ohio, what type of property ownership allows an individual to have the most complete set of rights, including the right to sell, lease, or will the property? Is it A, fee simple, B, leasehold, C, joint tenancy, or D, tenancy in common? The answer is A, fee simple. Fee simple ownership grants the owner the most comprehensive rights over the property, including the ability to sell, lease, or bequeath it without restrictions. This is the most common form of ownership. Which type of property ownership in Ohio automatically transfers the deceased owner's interest to the surviving owners? Is it A, tenancy in common, B, joint tenancy, C, fee simple, or D, leasehold? The answer is B, joint tenancy. Joint tenancy includes the right of survivorship, meaning upon the death of one owner, their interest automatically passes to the surviving joint tenants without probate. What distinguishes a leasehold estate from other types of property ownership in Ohio? Is it A, it provides full ownership rights, B, it includes rights of survivorship, C, it grants use for a specified term, or D, it allows for property to be inherited? The answer is C, it grants use for a specified term. A leasehold estate grants the tenant the right to use and occupy property for a specified term, unlike ownership, which includes more permanent rights and obligations. In Ohio, which form of ownership allows multiple owners to hold an undivided interest in property without the right of survivorship? Is it A, joint tenancy, B, community property, C, fee simple, or D, tenancy in common? The answer is D, tenancy in common. Tenancy in common allows multiple owners to hold undivided interests in a property, with each owner's share passing to heirs or beneficiaries upon death, not automatically to co-owners. Public versus private land use controls. Which of the following is a primary function of zoning laws in Ohio? Is it A, to increase property taxes, B, to separate incompatible land uses, C, to determine property ownership, or D, to enforce building codes? The answer is B, to separate incompatible land uses. Zoning laws are designed to regulate land use by dividing areas into specific zones, such as residential or commercial, to ensure orderly development and prevent land use conflicts. What is a key difference between public and private land use controls in Ohio? Is it A, public controls are more flexible, B, private controls are enforced by government, C, public controls are created by government entities, or D, private controls apply to all properties? The answer is C, Public controls are created by government entities. Public land use controls are typically enacted by government entities through zoning laws, while private controls are established through deeds or covenants by property owners. Which of the following is an example of a private land use control? Is it A, restrictive covenants, B, zoning ordinances, C, building permits, or D, environmental regulations? The answer is A, restrictive covenants. Restrictive covenants are private agreements placed in property deeds that limit how land can be used, often to maintain community standards or property values. How does a variance differ from a zoning ordinance in Ohio? Is it A, a variance is a type of zoning ordinance, B, a variance applies to all properties in a zone, C, a zoning ordinance is temporary, or D, a variance allows deviation from zoning rules? The answer is D. A variance allows deviation from zoning rules. A variance is an exception granted to a zoning ordinance, allowing property use that deviates from the zoning regulations due to unique circumstances or hardships. What role do public hearings play in the zoning process in Ohio? Is it A, to finalize zoning decisions, B, to gather community input on zoning changes, C, to enforce zoning regulations, or D, to issue building permits? The answer is B, to gather community input on zoning changes. Public hearings provide a platform for community members to express their opinions on proposed zoning changes, ensuring transparency and public involvement in land use decisions. What is the purpose of a deed restriction in Ohio property ownership? Is it A, to enforce zoning laws, B, to increase property taxes, C, to limit property use or activities, or D, to provide public utilities? The answer is C, to limit property use or activities. Deed restrictions are private land use controls that limit the use or activities on a property. They are established by developers or property owners and are meant to preserve property values and community aesthetics.
Stuck on a question? Just think of the Birdsy link in the description as your friendly neighborhood superhero, swooping in to save the day with answers. Feel free to explore it now and return to continue. Simply hit pause, and we'll be waiting when you get back.
Land use and zoning laws. Which of the following is a primary purpose of zoning laws in Ohio? Is it A, to regulate land use and ensure orderly development, B, to increase property taxes, C, to provide public utilities, or D, to manage public transportation systems? The answer is A, to regulate land use and ensure orderly development. Zoning laws are designed to regulate land use to ensure orderly development, protect property values, and promote health, safety, and welfare of the community. What is a non-conforming use in the context of Ohio zoning laws? Is it A, a new development that complies with current zoning, B, a property use that was legal under old zoning but not under new laws, C, a temporary permit granted by zoning authorities, or D, a use that violates both old and new zoning laws? The answer is B, a property use that was legal under old zoning but not under new laws. A non-conforming use refers to a property use that was legally established according to previous zoning laws but does not comply with new zoning regulations. In Ohio, what is a variance in the context of zoning laws? Is it A, a change in zoning classification, B, a temporary suspension of zoning laws, C, an exception to zoning ordinances granted under specific conditions, or D, a legal dispute over property boundaries? The answer is C, an exception to zoning ordinances granted under specific conditions. A variance is an exception to the zoning ordinance, allowing property owners to use their land in a way that deviates from zoning regulations due to unique circumstances. What is the role of a planning commission in Ohio's land use management? Is it A, to enforce building codes, B, to collect property taxes, C, to provide legal representation for landowners, or D, to review development proposals and advise on land use policies? The answer is D, to review development proposals and advise on land use policies. Planning commissions are responsible for reviewing development proposals, ensuring compliance with zoning laws, and advising on land use policies to guide community growth. What does a conditional use permit allow in Ohio zoning regulations? Is it A, a permanent change in zoning classification, B, a specific use allowed under current zoning with certain conditions, C, an exemption from all zoning regulations, or D, a temporary use of land for special events? The answer is B, a specific use allowed under current zoning with certain conditions. A conditional use permit allows a property to be used in a way that is not typically permitted under current zoning laws, but is deemed acceptable under certain conditions. Condominiums and HOAs. In Ohio, who is typically responsible for maintaining the common areas in a condominium complex? Is it A, individual unit owners, B, the condominium association, C, the local government, or D, a third-party property management company? The answer is B, the condominium association. In Ohio, the condominium association is responsible for maintaining common areas. This includes tasks like landscaping, cleaning, and repairs, funded by fees collected from unit owners. What is a primary function of a homeowners association in Ohio? Is it A, providing municipal services, B, managing individual property sales, C, enforcing community rules and regulations, or D, assessing property taxes? The answer is C, enforcing community rules and regulations. An HOA in Ohio enforces community rules and regulations, which helps maintain property values and ensures a uniform appearance in the neighborhood. Which of the following is typically a requirement for amending the declaration of a condominium in Ohio? Is it A, a supermajority vote from unit owners, B, approval from the local zoning board, C, unanimous consent from the board of directors, or D, a simple majority vote from unit owners? The answer is A, a supermajority vote from unit owners. Amending a condominium declaration in Ohio usually requires a supermajority vote from unit owners, typically 2/3 or more, to ensure broad agreement on significant changes. What is a common financial obligation of condo owners in Ohio? Is it A, property taxes, B, mortgage insurance, C, utility bills, or D, condominium assessments? The answer is D, condominium assessments. Condo owners in Ohio pay monthly or quarterly assessments to cover maintenance of common areas and shared facilities, ensuring the upkeep and operation of the condominium complex. Environmental issues and agricultural land use. Which of the following Ohio laws primarily governs the use of agricultural land to prevent urban sprawl? Is it A, Ohio Revised Code Chapter 5301, B, Ohio Zoning Code, C, Ohio Agricultural Easement Purchase Program, or D, Ohio Environmental Protection Act? The answer is C, Ohio Agricultural Easement Purchase Program. The Ohio Agricultural Easement Purchase Program helps preserve farmland by limiting non-agricultural development. It ensures that the land remains dedicated to farming, thus preventing urban sprawl. What is the primary purpose of Ohio's current agricultural use value program? Is it A, to increase agricultural land taxes, B, to tax farmland based on agricultural value, C, to convert farmland to commercial use, or D, to promote urban development? The answer is B, to tax farmland based on agricultural value. The CAUV program allows farmland to be taxed based on its agricultural value rather than its potential market value, providing tax relief to farmers and encouraging agricultural use. Which agency is responsible for enforcing environmental regulations related to land use in Ohio? Is it A, Ohio Environmental Protection Agency, B, Ohio Department of Agriculture, C, Ohio Real Estate Commission, or D, Ohio Department of Natural Resources? The answer is A, Ohio Environmental Protection Agency. The Ohio Environmental Protection Agency enforces environmental regulations, including those related to land use, to ensure compliance with state and federal standards. What is a common environmental concern related to agricultural land use in Ohio? Is it A, increased urban development, B, deforestation, C, air pollution, or D, nutrient runoff? The answer is D, nutrient runoff. Nutrient runoff from agricultural land can lead to water pollution, particularly affecting bodies of water like Lake Erie, causing issues such as algal blooms. Let's continue with Ohio agency law and ethics. Agency relationship laws. In Ohio, which of the following is a duty owed by an agent to their principal under agency law? Is it A, duty of negligence, B, duty of competition, C, duty of loyalty, or D, duty of indifference? The answer is C, duty of loyalty. In Ohio, agents owe a duty of loyalty to their principals, which includes acting in the principal's best interest and avoiding conflicts of interest. This is a fundamental aspect of agency relationships. What is the primary purpose of the Ohio Agency Disclosure Statement? Is it A, to provide legal advice to clients, B, to disclose the agency relationships in a transaction, C, to determine the commission rates, or D, to finalize the sale agreement? The answer is B, to disclose the agency relationships in a transaction. The Ohio Agency Disclosure Statement ensures that parties involved in a real estate transaction are aware of the agency relationships, promoting transparency and informed decision-making. Under Ohio law, when must an agent disclose their agency relationship to a prospective buyer? Is it A, at first substantive contact, B, only after an offer is made, C, at the closing of the transaction, or D, after the inspection period? The answer is A, at first substantive contact. In Ohio, agents must disclose their agency relationship as soon as possible, ideally at the first substantive contact with the buyer, to ensure transparency and informed consent. Which of the following actions would likely breach an agent's fiduciary duty of confidentiality in Ohio? Is it A, providing a list of comparable sales, B, recommending a home inspector, C, discussing a client's financial situation without consent, or D, negotiating a lower price on behalf of the client? The answer is C, discussing a client's financial situation without consent. Discussing a client's financial situation without consent breaches the duty of confidentiality, which requires agents to protect sensitive client information unless authorized to disclose it.
Don't forget to comment below with your tips, challenges, and thoughts on exam preparation. Your experiences can make a big difference for others.
Fiduciary duties and client representation. Which of the following is a fiduciary duty that an Ohio real estate agent owes to their client? Is it A, negotiation, B, loyalty, C, marketing, or D, advertising? The answer is B. Loyalty is a core fiduciary duty in Ohio agency law, requiring agents to prioritize their clients' interests above their own. This duty ensures the agent acts in the best interest of the client. In Ohio, if a real estate agent breaches their fiduciary duty of confidentiality, what is a potential consequence? Is it A, increased commission, B, client appreciation, C, license suspension, or D, More listings. The answer is C, license suspension. Breaching confidentiality can lead to disciplinary actions, including fines, suspension, or revocation of the agent's license, as it violates the trust placed by the client. What duty requires an Ohio real estate agent to disclose all material facts to their client? Is it A, disclosure, B, obedience, C, care, or D, accountability? The answer is A, disclosure. The duty of disclosure mandates agents to reveal all pertinent information that could affect the client's decisions, ensuring informed consent and transparency in transactions. How does the fiduciary duty of care manifest in an Ohio real estate transaction? Is it A, by prioritizing personal gain over client interest, B, by withholding information to gain leverage, C, by ignoring client instructions, or D, by providing competent advice and services? The answer is D, by providing competent advice and services. The duty of care requires agents to use their skills and expertise to protect clients' interests, ensuring they receive competent advice and services throughout the transaction. Ohio Ethics Guidelines and Enforcement. What is the primary purpose of the Ohio Ethics Guidelines in real estate practice? Is it A, to increase real estate sales, B, to uphold integrity and trust in the industry, C, to limit competition among agents, or D, to regulate agent commissions? The answer is B, to uphold integrity and trust in the industry. The Ohio Ethics Guidelines aim to ensure real estate professionals adhere to high standards of conduct, promoting trust and integrity in the industry. They provide a framework for ethical decision-making. Which of the following actions could result in disciplinary action under Ohio's real estate ethics guidelines? Is it A, promptly returning client calls, B, conducting regular market analysis, C, misrepresenting property details, or D, attending continuing education courses? The answer is C, misrepresenting property details. Misrepresentation of property details is a serious ethical violation. Such actions can mislead clients and damage trust, leading to disciplinary action by the Ohio Real Estate Commission. How does the Ohio Real Estate Commission enforce ethical standards among real estate agents? Is it A, by imposing fines and suspensions, B, by offering incentives for ethical behavior, C, by hosting annual ethics seminars, or D, by conducting monthly audits? The answer is A, by imposing fines and suspensions. The Ohio Real Estate Commission enforces ethical standards through disciplinary actions, which may include fines, suspension, or revocation of licenses based on the severity of the violation. What is a key ethical responsibility of Ohio real estate agents when dealing with clients? Is it A, to secure the highest commission possible, B, to prioritize the agent's interests, C, to avoid all client communications, or D, to disclose all material facts about the property? The answer is D, to disclose all material facts about the property. Ohio real estate agents must disclose all material facts about a property to clients. This transparency is crucial for informed decision-making and trust in the client-agent relationship. Let's see how well you understand Ohio property valuation. Basic principles of property valuation. What is the principle of substitution in property valuation? Is it A, the value of a property is based on its historical cost, B, the value of a property is determined by its potential future income, C, the value of a property is determined by the cost of acquiring a similar property, or D, the value of a property is based on its location and amenities? The answer is C. The value of a property is determined by the cost of acquiring a similar property. The principle of substitution states that a property's value is determined by the cost of acquiring an equivalent substitute property. This principle is fundamental in property valuation, ensuring that values remain competitive. Which principle explains why a property's value might decrease due to nearby economic decline? Is it A, regression, B, progression, C, conformity, or D, anticipation? The answer is A, regression. The principle of regression states that the value of a higher quality property can be negatively affected by the proximity of lower quality properties, often due to economic decline in the area. How does the principle of highest and best use affect property valuation? Is it A, it determines the historical significance of the property, B, it sets a fixed value based on current zoning laws, C, it increases value by focusing on aesthetic appeal, or D, it maximizes value by identifying the most profitable legal use? The answer is D. It maximizes value by identifying the most profitable legal use. The principle of highest and best use states that property value is maximized when it is used in a way that is legally permissible, physically possible, financially feasible, and maximally productive. What role does the principle of anticipation play in property valuation? Is it A, it focuses on past property performance to determine value, B, it values property based on expected future benefits, C, it limits value assessment to current market conditions, or D, it emphasizes the importance of location in valuation? The answer is B, it values property based on expected future benefits. The principle of anticipation involves valuing a property based on the present value of expected future benefits, such as income or appreciation, impacting investment decisions.
Notice the code in the corner? When you're stumped by a question, enter it at Birdsy.ai for immediate help. Enjoy complimentary study sessions and access to hundreds of additional questions to help you pass your exam with confidence.
Sales comparison, cost, and income approaches. What is the primary purpose of the sales comparison approach in Ohio property valuation? Is it A, to estimate property value based on recent sales of similar properties, B, to calculate property value based on construction costs, C, to assess property value using potential rental income, or D, to determine property value based on historical appreciation rates? The answer is A, to estimate property value based on recent sales of similar properties. The sales comparison approach is used to estimate property value by comparing it to similar recently sold properties. This method reflects the market's view and is most effective in active markets. Which of the following is a key factor in the cost approach to property valuation? Is it A, recent sales of comparable properties, B, depreciation of the property, C, potential rental income, or D, market trends and economic conditions? The answer is B, depreciation of the property. The cost approach estimates value by determining the cost to replace or reproduce the property, minus depreciation. Land value is added separately to complete the valuation. In the income approach, what is the capitalization rate used for? Is it A, to determine replacement cost, B, to compare recent sales prices, C, to convert net operating income into an estimated value, or D, to assess land value separately? The answer is C, to convert net operating income into an estimated value. The capitalization rate is used to convert income into value. It reflects the investor's required rate of return and the property's risk profile, crucial in income-producing properties. Which condition must be met for a property to be considered comparable in the sales comparison approach? Is it A, the property must be of a different construction type, B, the property must have been sold over 5 years ago, C, the property must be in a different neighborhood, or D, the property must be similar in size and style? The answer is D. The property must be similar in size and style. Comparable properties should be similar in size, style, and location, and should have been sold recently to reflect current market conditions accurately. Let's continue with a review of Ohio real estate financing. Mortgage loans and financing options. What is the primary purpose of a mortgage in Ohio financing? Is it A, to secure a loan using real estate as collateral? B, to provide a lease agreement for a property? C, to transfer ownership of a property? Or D, to assess the value of a property? The answer is A, to secure a loan using real estate as collateral. A mortgage is a legal agreement by which a bank or creditor lends money in exchange for taking the title of the debtor's property, with the condition that the conveyance of title becomes void upon the payment of the debt. Which type of mortgage loan typically offers the lowest initial interest rate? Is it A, fixed-rate mortgage, B, adjustable rate mortgage, C, interest-only mortgage, or D, balloon mortgage? The answer is B, adjustable rate mortgage. An adjustable rate mortgage usually starts with a lower initial interest rate compared to fixed-rate mortgages, but the rate can increase over time based on market conditions. What is a key characteristic of an FHA loan in Ohio? Is it A, requires a 20% down payment, B, only available to first-time homebuyers, C, backed by the Federal Housing Administration, or D, requires perfect credit score? The answer is C, backed by the Federal Housing Administration. FHA loans are government-backed mortgages designed for low to moderate income borrowers who may have lower credit scores, requiring a lower minimum down payment than many conventional loans. Which financing option allows a buyer to avoid paying private mortgage insurance on a conventional loan? Is it A, applying for an FHA loan, B, choosing an adjustable rate mortgage, C, opting for a balloon payment, or D, making a 20% down payment? The answer is D, making a 20% down payment. A buyer can avoid PMI on a conventional loan by making a down payment of at least 20% of the home's purchase price, reducing the lender's risk. Loan applications and approval processes. What is the primary purpose of the loan estimate form in Ohio's loan application process? Is it A, to finalize the loan agreement, B, to provide estimated loan costs and terms, C, to verify the borrower's income, or D, to assess the property's value? The answer is B, to provide estimated loan costs and terms. The loan estimate form provides borrowers with important details about their mortgage, including estimated interest rates and closing costs, helping them understand the terms before committing. Which document is crucial for verifying a borrower's income during the loan application process in Ohio? Is it A, loan estimate, B, credit report, C, W-2 form, or D, title report? The answer is C, W-2 form. The W-2 form is essential for verifying a borrower's income as it details annual wages and taxes withheld, providing lenders with accurate income information. In Ohio, what is the significance of the closing disclosure form in the loan approval process? Is it A, it details final loan terms and costs, B, it serves as a preliminary loan offer, C, it assesses the borrower's credit history, or D, it verifies the property's condition? The answer is A, it details final loan terms and costs. The closing disclosure provides a detailed account of the final loan terms and closing costs, ensuring borrowers understand the financial obligations before finalizing the mortgage. What role does a credit report play in Ohio's loan application and approval processes? Is it A, it determines the loan's interest rate, B, it finalizes the loan agreement, C, it estimates closing costs, or D, It evaluates creditworthiness. The answer is D. It evaluates creditworthiness. A credit report provides lenders with a comprehensive view of the borrower's credit history, influencing their decision on loan approval and interest rates based on creditworthiness. Ohio mortgage disclosure requirements. What is the primary purpose of the Ohio Mortgage Disclosure Act? Is it A, to ensure borrowers are fully informed about their mortgage terms? B, to allow lenders to change mortgage terms post-agreement? C, to limit the number of mortgage applications a borrower can make? Or D, to provide tax benefits to first-time homebuyers? The answer is A, to ensure borrowers are fully informed about their mortgage terms. The Ohio Mortgage Disclosure Act aims to ensure borrowers are fully informed about the terms and conditions of their mortgage, promoting transparency and preventing predatory lending practices. Which document must Ohio lenders provide to borrowers before closing a mortgage? Is it A, loan estimate, B, closing disclosure, C, promissory note, or D, deed of trust? The answer is B, closing disclosure. Ohio lenders must provide a closing disclosure at least 3 business days before closing, detailing the final terms and costs of the mortgage to ensure borrower awareness. How soon must an Ohio lender provide a loan estimate after receiving a mortgage application? Is it A, 1 business day, B, 5 business days, C, 3 business days, or D, 7 business days? The answer is C, 3 business days. Ohio lenders are required to provide a loan estimate within 3 business days of receiving a mortgage application, ensuring borrowers understand estimated costs early in the process. What is the consequence if an Ohio lender fails to provide a closing disclosure 3 days before closing? Is it A, the borrower can cancel the mortgage without penalty? B, the lender must provide a discount on closing costs? C, the borrower receives an automatic interest rate reduction? Or D, the closing must be delayed to comply with disclosure requirements? The answer is D, the closing must be delayed to comply with disclosure requirements. If an Ohio lender fails to provide the closing disclosure on time, the closing must be delayed to ensure compliance, allowing the borrower adequate review time. Ohio-specific loan programs. What is the primary purpose of the Ohio Housing Finance Agency's first-time homebuyer program? Is it A, to provide affordable mortgage options and down payment assistance to first-time homebuyers? B, to offer tax incentives to real estate investors? C, to subsidize rental housing projects? Or D, to provide grants for home renovations? The answer is A, to provide affordable mortgage options and down payment assistance to first-time homebuyers. The Ohio Housing Finance Agency's first-time homebuyer program aims to assist first-time homebuyers with affordable mortgage options and down payment assistance, making homeownership more accessible to qualifying individuals. Which Ohio-specific loan program is designed to help veterans purchase homes? Is it A, Ohio Down Payment Assistance Program, B, Ohio Heroes Program, C, Ohio Home Renovation Program, or D, Ohio Mortgage Credit Certificate Program? The answer is B, Ohio Heroes Program. The Ohio Heroes Program includes benefits for veterans, offering them reduced interest rates on home loans, recognizing their service, and facilitating their homeownership journey. What is a key feature of the Ohio Mortgage Credit Certificate Program? Is it A, provides direct cash grants to homebuyers, B, offers reduced interest rates for all homebuyers, C, subsidizes home insurance costs, or D, allows homebuyers to claim a tax credit for mortgage interest paid? The answer is D, allows homebuyers to claim a tax credit for mortgage interest paid. The Ohio Mortgage Credit Certificate Program allows homebuyers to claim a tax credit for a portion of the mortgage interest paid each year, reducing federal tax liability and making homeownership more affordable. How does the Ohio Down Payment Assistance Program aid homebuyers? Is it A, by offering reduced property taxes, B, by providing free home insurance for the first year, C, by offering financial assistance for down payment and closing costs, or D, by guaranteeing loan approval for all applicants? The answer is C, by offering financial assistance for down payment and closing costs. The Ohio Down Payment Assistance Program provides eligible homebuyers with financial assistance to cover down payment and closing costs, easing the initial financial burden of purchasing a home. Ohio Housing Finance Agency. What is the primary purpose of the Ohio Housing Finance Agency? Is it A, to regulate real estate agents in Ohio, B, to provide affordable housing opportunities, C, to develop commercial real estate, or D, to manage state property taxes? The answer is B, to provide affordable housing opportunities. OHFA's primary purpose is to provide affordable housing opportunities for Ohio residents. It achieves this through various programs that offer financial assistance, including down payment assistance and mortgage tax credits. Which program does OHFA offer to help first-time homebuyers in Ohio? Is it A, First-Time Homebuyer Program, B, Real Estate Investment Program, C, Commercial Property Loan Program, or D, Rental Assistance Program? The answer is A, First-Time Homebuyer Program. The First-Time Homebuyer Program by OHFA offers down payment assistance, competitive interest rates, and mortgage tax credits to eligible first-time homebuyers to make homeownership more accessible. How does OHFA's mortgage tax credit help homebuyers? Is it A, by reducing property taxes, B, by lowering interest rates on loans, C, by offering a tax credit for mortgage interest, or D, by increasing loan amounts? The answer is C, by offering a tax credit for mortgage interest. OHFA's mortgage tax credit allows eligible homebuyers to claim a tax credit for a portion of the mortgage interest paid, reducing their federal income tax liability and making homeownership more affordable. What type of assistance does OHFA provide to renters? Is it A, mortgage refinancing, B, home renovation grants, C, property tax reduction, or D, rental assistance subsidies? The answer is D, rental assistance subsidies. OHFA provides rental assistance to ensure low-income families have access to affordable housing. This assistance often includes subsidies to help cover the cost of rent, making housing more affordable. We'll finish with a review of Ohio disclosure requirements and forms. Ohio-specific disclosure requirements. What is the primary purpose of the Ohio Residential Property Disclosure Form? Is it A, to inform buyers about the condition of the property, B, to estimate the property's market value, C, to list the property's previous owners, or D, to calculate property taxes? The answer is A, to inform buyers about the condition of the property. The Ohio Residential Property Disclosure Form is designed to provide buyers with information about the condition of the property, ensuring transparency and informed decision-making in real estate transactions. When must the Ohio Residential Property Disclosure Form be provided to a buyer? Is it A, at closing, B, after the offer is accepted, C, before the buyer makes an offer, or D, during the home inspection? The answer is C, before the buyer makes an offer. The form should be provided before the buyer makes an offer to ensure they have all necessary information to make an informed decision about the property. Which of the following is not required to be disclosed on the Ohio Residential Property Disclosure Form? Is it A, presence of lead-based paint, B, seller's mortgage balance? C. Water damage history. Or D. Structural defects? The answer is B. Seller's mortgage balance. The form requires disclosure of physical property conditions, not personal financial information such as the seller's mortgage balance. What action can a buyer take if they find undisclosed defects after closing in Ohio? Is it A. Request a new disclosure form? B. Negotiate a new price? C. Void the sale? Or D. File a lawsuit for misrepresentation? The answer is D. File a lawsuit for misrepresentation. If defects were not disclosed as required, the buyer may have legal grounds to pursue a claim for misrepresentation or fraud against the seller. Commonly used Ohio forms. Which form is typically used in Ohio to disclose information about the condition of a property? Is it A. Ohio lead-based paint disclosure form? B. Ohio residential property disclosure form? C. Ohio seller's affidavit? Or D. Ohio purchase agreement? The answer is B. Ohio residential property disclosure form. The Ohio residential property disclosure form is used to provide buyers with important information about the condition of the property, ensuring transparency and compliance with state regulations. What is the primary purpose of the Ohio Consumer Guide to Agency Relationships form? Is it A. To inform consumers about agency relationships? B. To disclose property defects? C. To finalize the sale agreement? Or D. To outline financing options? The answer is A. To inform consumers about agency relationships. This form educates consumers about the different types of agency relationships available in Ohio real estate transactions, ensuring informed decisions and transparency in agency roles. Which document must Ohio sellers provide to buyers to comply with federal law regarding homes built before 1978? Is it A. Ohio Residential Property Disclosure Form? B. Ohio Purchase Agreement? C. Lead-based paint disclosure form? Or D. Ohio seller's affidavit? The answer is C. Lead-based paint disclosure form. Sellers must provide the lead-based paint disclosure form for homes built before 1978 to comply with federal law addressing potential lead hazards and ensuring buyer awareness. What information is typically included in the Ohio Residential Property Disclosure Form? Is it A. Only financial aspects of the property? B. The seller's personal information? C. Future property value projections? Or D. Condition and defects of the property? The answer is D. Condition and defects of the property. The form includes details about the property's condition, such as structural issues, water damage, and environmental hazards, to provide buyers with a comprehensive understanding of potential concerns. Specific procedures for transactions. What is the primary purpose of the Ohio Residential Property Disclosure Form? Is it A. To inform buyers of known property issues? B. To estimate the property's market value? C. To verify the buyer's financing capability? Or D. To outline the terms of the sale? The answer is A. To inform buyers of known property issues. The Ohio Residential Property Disclosure Form is designed to inform potential buyers about any known issues with the property, ensuring transparency and allowing buyers to make informed decisions. Which transaction requires the use of the Ohio Agency Disclosure Statement? Is it A. Commercial property sales? B. Residential property sales? C. Rental agreements? Or D. Land lease agreements? The answer is B. Residential property sales. The Ohio Agency Disclosure Statement is mandatory in residential real estate transactions to clarify the agency relationship and ensure transparency between the parties involved. When must a seller provide the Residential Property Disclosure Form to a buyer in Ohio? Is it A. After the buyer's offer is accepted? B. at the closing of the sale. C, before the buyer makes an offer. Or D, after the property inspection. The answer is C, before the buyer makes an offer. The seller must provide the residential property disclosure form before the buyer makes an offer. This timing ensures the buyer is fully informed about the property's condition beforehand. What information is typically excluded from the Ohio Residential Property Disclosure Form? Is it A, roof condition, B, basement leaks, C, plumbing issues, or D, seller's personal financial history? The answer is D, seller's personal financial history. The Ohio Residential Property Disclosure Form focuses on known physical defects of the property and typically excludes personal information about the seller or the buyer.
Thanks for joining us today. If you found this video helpful, subscribe to our channel for more practice exams, tips, and tricks. And don't forget to visit Birdsy.ai for complimentary study sessions with Birdsy, your AI-powered study partner.